Hello, welcome back to Up Close with QP. This week we've got two new versions of the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 39mm, now with a black and white dial. These were quite quietly released at Baselworld this year. Now, there's nothing else new about them other than the dial colours. This is the Oyster Perpetual 39mm as you saw it 3 years ago in 2015. It came out then with blue, grey and red grape dials, all with little colour accents at the hour markers. Now we've got simple black and simple white. So far so straightforward, but on a watch that was already so hard to fault, this takes it up into the realm of perfection for many people because they're such classic, such wearable colours. They go with anything, it's black and white. So what does that mean? That there's nothing wrong with this watch? Well, there isn't really. It's a Rolex, so the quality's there. It does what it's asked to do to a high standard. They're rated to plus or minus 2 seconds a day with a 48-hour power reserve. They're comfortable, they sit well on the wrist. 39mm is for most people an absolute sweet spot size. So it's all about the looks. And while beauty is in the eye of the beholder, most people, a lot of people are saying these are just absolute knockouts, perfect watches. So, is that true? I spend a lot of time trying to find something I actually dislike about the design of this watch. After quite a long while, I've come back with... I'm not entirely sure about the raised centre link, the way the bracelet joins to the case. And that's it. One thing I suppose for me personally, as with all Rolexes, if you spend a lot of time wearing watches from other brands, it's a bit of an adjustment to get used to there being precisely nothing to look at on the case back, but that's Rolex. What they've done here is something very, very few companies can get right. Simple doesn't mean unsophisticated, and when there's so little going on, there's nowhere to hide. Any flaws will stand out, and they don't. There aren't any. I think if I have a problem with these watches, it's that there is actually there's a lack of wow factor to them. And that's the whole appeal for some people. I get that. These are stealth watches, these are everyday watches, perfectly classic, perfectly unshowy, unflashy, stylish timepieces. But for me, they're just a little bit too under the radar. I need a little bit more. You could obviously buy one of these and never need another watch, for sure, but who wants to only have one watch? Yes, they're timeless, stylish, simple watches. And if that sounds like a cliche, it's almost true. They almost are cliches. They're archetypes of an idea of what a watch is. I honestly think if you'd never seen a watch before in your life and had one described to you, you'd come up imagining something very much like this. So, are they perfect? On almost any objective level, including price, it's hard to find points to pick up, points to criticise. And for many of you out there watching, I know these are the perfect entry-level Rolexes, and these are absolutely going to sell like nothing else. For me, they're just not tugging at the heartstrings in the same way that I think perhaps Rolexes a little further up the price ladder will do. Not saying they're not insanely good, they absolutely are that, but I want a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more special, something a little bit more special from a Rolex.